My apologies for being late with today's video report. Unfortunately, the news that Taylor Swift and Calvin Harris broke up last night, it shattered me. It shattered me, emotionally devastated me. I needed time to process what the future of Tay-Tay is going to be after this devastating breakup. So between that and actually the dental implant work that I was having, which has left my side of my face totally numb at the moment, those two things have certainly led to today's report being late. Taylor, you just can't find a man. I mean, I really thought he was the guy. Anyway, the NBA Finals get underway tonight. What is going on here? The NHL, the season that never ends. They've already had 2 games of the Stanley Cup Finals, and the NBA Finals are only getting underway tonight. Well, we have seen numerous trends that have played throughout the first 6 weeks of the postseason that have been consistent. And let's recap them before I get to your free play. On the game number 1, total. First of all, favorites, 46-32-1 against the spread so far in the postseason. But the conference finals, the favorites, only 1 game up, 7-6 versus the odds makers. We have seen the under be the play throughout the postseason. 47-32-1, the under. In the conference finals, 8 of the 13 games stayed under the posted price. We have seen the home teams pretty much dominate. 4 games over 500 at 21-17 against the spread in round number 1. In round number 2, they went 13-9 against the spread. But in the conference finals, you had 13 games. The home team covered 10 of them. So, what do you have tonight? Well, did you notice the late line movement here earlier today? If you were on Golden State, you could have gotten the Warriors at -6 or the Cavaliers +6. But this line, what time is it? Oh, about 1 o'clock Pacific time, 4 o'clock Eastern time. This line is now inched down to 5.5 at most of the books, and I'm sure that's where it's going to settle here as we get closer to tip-off. The total, well, it was 210 earlier today. It's around 209. And let me tell you which way I think this total is going to go. I'm going to go with the over. Listen, I was on Cleveland.com earlier today researching the game. No, I was not reading more about Taylor Swift. And I saw Ty Lue's quote that, in essence, to paraphrase, that he said they are not going to slow down the ball in the game. They are more than willing to play up-tempo with the Golden State Warriors. Well, that's fine. If you're willing to run with the Warriors, I'm taking the over, especially at what I consider a cheap price, because I really projected this game 1 total to be somewhere around 214. So to find it at 210 and then at 209, 209.5, I think that's a bargain, taking the over in this game. A couple of other reasons why. You have a Cleveland team that has grown so confident in terms of shooting 3-pointers here in the postseason. Now, I do not expect Cleveland to come out and hit at a 45% clip from downtown like they did in the first 2 rounds against Detroit and Atlanta. But this is a team that, as you saw in the closeout game at Toronto in game number 6, definitely has no issue with launching the 3-ball. And they have so many more weapons to shoot the 3-pointer this year, and especially in the second half of the season once they added Channing Frye to the bench than they did in past years. Because in previous years, it was pretty much J.R. Smith and anybody else who happened to want to launch a 3-pointer. LeBron, not a great 3-point shooter, but he'll put some up. But Kyrie Irving, I think off the top of my head, I think in the postseason, he's hitting like at a 48% clip from 3-point land. Kevin Love has no problem with launching them up either. You know, you have weapons on the Cavaliers that can give you those 3-pointers, and they are going to need them in this series because, you know, the Warriors, they have absolutely no conscience. I mean, they can miss their first 7 shots from downtown and then immediately go on a 10-for-12 run. They constantly keep shooting the ball because that's where they got, how they got to where they are, and that's why they are the defending champions. So when I'm looking at a game, and it's an NBA game, and I've got 2 teams that can both shoot the 3-pointers, well, and do so successfully, unlike, let's say, the Oklahoma City Thunder, who were lucky to hit between 3 and 6 a game. Suddenly, if I look at 2 teams that might combine for, let's say, 15 to 20 3-pointers in a game, well, guys, that's 15 to 20 extra points you can count on in the game. You also have 2 teams here tonight that love to run the ball anyway. You know that both excel in transition. More fast break opportunities, more points on the board. And again, I just think it all leads to this game going over the posted price and, of course, going against the spread totals, which that number that I just gave you, and where the games have certainly been playing under at a high rate of success throughout the postseason. But every now and then, I think you got to go against the grain, and that's the way I'm going tonight, and I'm taking the over, all based on the number. Now, your other complimentary play, I'm going to go with the Detroit Tigers at home tonight against the New York Yankees. Listen, Tigers managed to salvage the final game of a road trip 3-0 at LA yesterday. Trust me, I know I had a small $5 play on the Angels in that contest. But now they're back at home, where they have been playing some great ball. They have won 7 of their last 9 games at home. And during that stretch, they've hit .315, averaged 6.1 runs, and smacked 17 homers. The Yankees, on the other hand, they have lost 6 of their last 8 games. And for damn good reason. They can't hit the ball. They've only managed to hit 176 during that 8-game stretch. And how many total runs did they score in those 8 games? 19 in 8 games. That ain't good, guys. That's even worse than what the Phillies and the Braves are doing for the season. Bottom line is this. I also like the pitching matchup a little bit here. Matt Boyd making his 3rd start, second since being recalled from the minors. He didn't have a bad outing at Oakland last week. I mean, he went 5 innings. He gave up a couple of homers, 3 runs in all, struck out the first 4 batters he faced, 7 Ks overall, 0 walks in the game. I think that is certainly encouraging. And you look at Michael Pineda for the Yankees, the guy who was going to be one of the anchors of their rotation for years to come. He has just been dreadful. In fact, if there was anybody else that the Yankees could put in the rotation, he'd certainly be in the bullpen right now or demoted down to AAA. He has the highest earned run average of any starting pitcher who has pitched enough innings to qualify. 6.92 on the season. He just allowed 6 runs in a season-low 3 2/3 innings in Saturday's loss at Tampa Bay. This guy has just struggled all season long. Tons of base runners, 2-6, 6.92 ERA on the year. And just another reason that I've got to go with the Tigers in this one to maintain their winning ways at home. Once again, Detroit is going to be your comp play in baseball, and I'm going to take Cleveland and Golden State to go over the total in game number 1. Best of luck, guys, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow when we do this one more time.